Hello. We are live.
The shofar is blowing. You hear the shofar blowing. We're here. We brought our A game.
Greetings, folks.
Yes. Can you hear everybody? Okay. Can you hear me?
It looks like the sound is registering.
The sound is registering. Mm-hmm.
Let us know if the sound is bad or weird or anything like that. Okay. So, we're back on Twitch. We're on Twitch this time. It's not YouTube, it's Twitch. We're twitching. We're twitching over here. So, we haven't done a stream on Twitch probably almost a year. Something like that, I think. Roughly. I think it's almost a year since we've done a stream here. In case you are a Twitch user and you're unaware of what goes on at YouTube, we are doing Saturday night streams of the Shofar, of this show, of this very stream that you're looking at, but a late night version on Saturday nights, 12:30, maybe 1 a.m. Saturday nights on YouTube. It's Jewish Defense League Official is our little username on the YouTube. But you can just look up the Shofar.
You can hear them now. Oh, it's so late. Why's it got to be so late on a Saturday night?
Well, it's Motzei Shabbos. We give you time to take a nap or whatever, okay, and then wake up.
And after your kosher mukbang.
Right. Yeah, so Saturday nights we are on YouTube. We're going to try and do weekday streams over here on Twitch. The schedule is, whenever we feel like it over here, but it's going to be steady Saturday nights as the usual time on the YouTube. Okay.
All right. So we're covering current events here,
huh? Yeah, we can start off with a little bit of that.
Or should we introduce ourselves? Because this is Twitch and we haven't been up here in a long time.
Okay, so I'm Naama from the Jewish Defense League. I'm the national director.
I'm the husband, Shlomo. I'm the security director and a coordinator for the Jewish Defense League since 1999. Sounds so crazy to say that. 1999.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially
I know, like I was born in 95, and I'm like, how is that? How are you born in 1995?
Right, and you're like,
and you're talking to me and ordering food and things.
You're out there living your own life. Weirdly, that's strange to me. Yeah, definitely.
You might know us from other stuff, but that's not relevant right now. Is the Jewish Defense League Shofar podcast, and I'm glad to be a guest here. Thank you once
Jewish
for
Defense
stretching your studio
league,
stretching your studio office here in beautiful downtown Chicago, so that you can accommodate, my wheelchair with the rocket thrusters that is below this.
Yeah, this isn't
Camper line.
exactly downtown, but well, maybe eventually we'll be able to afford a downtown space. That's dress for the job you
Yes.
want, not the job you have.
Well, we're like Rabbi Kahan prepared us for that. No one's really going to be donating. So, if anything you heard from
you get a small dedicated handful, but it's small. It's
Yeah.
small. The handful is a small handful. It's like a tiny hand.
But we're very thankful for everyone who
And we appreciate
has stepped up and
every
donated
tiny bit
and
of it.
does things to help us keep our communication lines open to the world.
Yep, keep our propaganda flowing, the stickers flowing, the pamphlets, and
Well,
of course this
but
stream.
propaganda.
Of course, this stream requires pretty good speed of internet, so we have to pay for that as well.
And pretty good knowledge of how to work it. I'm lost. I'm like just gonna sit here and be quiet and not aggravate you.
Oh, really? You don't know that we are speaking with a highly echoed tone at this moment?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay, we can turn that off now.
Is the current events section
Okay,
going
so
to include criticisms, or are we just going to
always,
talk about
always,
that? Okay,
always,
all right.
always.
Whenever you're ready, man.
Well, do you want to talk about the war first?
The cuckening?
Yeah, so
Great cuck.
Trump, I don't know what happened with Trump, but he was very non-Trumpy in this action, making the deal with Tehran. I think he doesn't understand Islamic culture and how they act, and the truce is not the end of the war in Islam. It's just another phase of it, as is said.
He stated that if it wasn't for him, Israel would not exist right now. And to me, I hope he is thinking about how God totally disagrees with that statement.
Well, yeah, for
The
one.
Bible disagrees with that statement.
Well, the primary thing is that
He did the same thing
He-
Obama did.
he didn't
He
even
cucked
do
the
that.
Arabians.
even if he wanted to be atheistic and irreligious and ignore the concept that this is the Holy Land and the Lord is protecting it, okay, you want to ignore that, but he didn't do that much regarding Israel to protect it. So what does he mean when he says that? Like what is he even referring to?
According to OSNIT reports that Israel was not made privy to the deal and had to ask. So, like you had said, that makes them not really bound to participate in said deal. But the whole point of this story is that the Palestinian identity was created to thwart Zionism.
True. Also, hello to everyone in the chat.
It wasn't created to further an ethnicity of people who.
Right. It wasn't a nation born organically. It's a political designation, and it was used to, like you said, to oppose Zionism.
Yeah, well, that's what it was made for. It was made to become a thing, and Arabs from all over the Arab world could come and join the Palestinian cause and fight for, the Holy Land and take what they believe is theirs, which, we understand that the Bible says it's not. But the Bible also is teaching you a lesson about these guys. They only respond to strength.
Right.
So if you have a leader who can't articulate why we need that land, well, then that's the beginning of our problems over there.
It's what I don't
because
know if it's the beginning, but
Palestinianism,
it's definitely a major.
because Palestinianism wants Jerusalem.
Right.
So other problems I'm saying can be handled in different ways, but
Mhm.
these are problems that are arising because of this identity only.
Mhm.
People aren't over there like, oh, when I go on vacation, I go over to Israel, try to smash the Zionist state. Not a thing. The facts of the matter is,
Right.
is that the identity of Palestinian, like someone, I could go on about that forever, but I won't. I think you get my point.
Mhm.
The point that I was trying to make before, someone had argued that, well, what if they called themselves Gazans or, Philistines even? That'd be closer to what they're like.
Well, they're
But,
like Philistines, but they're not like blood related
of
to
course,
them.
so they're not
Right.
Aegean
Right.
sea
Exactly.
people.
Right.
That was
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
story, that they were Aegean sea people. So the point is that it's a land.
They're definitely
where,
fishy, but in the sense of questionable.
it's a land where might is right, not might makes right. It's not a makes right situation.
Right. It is what it is, and it's not Palestine.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, the point is that Palestine doesn't have a deed to that rock where they put the golden Hamas. There's no deed. There's no paper that says it belongs
They've
to the Arabs.
never.
They
ever.
put the mosque there, and it's being co-administered by Jews and the Muslims. So, in my mind, let us pray, open it up, make it an interfaith spot, and let us pray. Let us see what happens in the world once we really do the prayers we're trying to do there. Not we to speak the great Kohen, R.I.P. We're still in exile. We're standing at a effing wall, and we're praying to the outer wall. We're not allowed to do what we want. We can't do prayers the time. You know how many people on precious holidays that remind them of loved ones, lost battles, and things would love to go to the literal Temple Mount and do our prayers, not the wall, not the surrounding facade, not, you know what I mean? Not
right. Yeah. Well, until
this historic
evil is defeated, right?
You can just expect rights and wrongs to keep happening on both sides of the board.
Exactly.
And without Trump's acknowledgement that Palestinianism is a designation by a terror group to try to replace the Jews, the indigenous inhabitants of the area, until he wants to admit that, hey, when I heard he was doing a deal with Iran, hey, these are the same people who give money to Hamas. Oh, well, we give money to billions. Remember during the war, after the war, October 7th, they literally gave millions of dollars to Gaza. Remember the guy, Biden's guy, kept giving him money?
Yeah, lots of money.
So they're in bed
Trump
with the
cut it
enemy.
down, but still
Trump
acting
cut it down,
like
but why? Because, like the big question on everyone's mind, how come Qatar was funneling money into the Gaza Strip prior to October 7th? And then obviously it wasn't stopped and it wasn't looked into. So suddenly they had money for helmets. Suddenly they had money for paragliders. Suddenly they had money for guns.
to do
they
October
had
7th.
plate carriers. They had walkie-talkies. They had uniforms, which they bought online that just IDF copy. These are all self-solving problems.
Well, there's a deeper game at play too when we talk about Qatar, because Qatar was funding certain elements within Gaza, like Hamas, and some of their subsidiaries. But Iran at the same time was funneling money into different groups like Islamic Jihad, and other leaders within Hamas personally. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that there actually is kind of a competition right now between Qatar and Iran. And when they're both all rumbling about October 7th, I think the strategy in my mind, the way it looks anyway, is that whichever guys defeated Israel or, did the best and got the most victory, they would become, you know, subservient or the, you know, permanent tools or proxies of that respective nation in that area. So the guys that Qatar funded, Qatar is hoping that they're going to take over. The guys that Iran funded, Iran is hoping that they're going to take over and, you know, act as their proxies with their competition right now in the world between Qatar and Iran. Yeah.
And how does this play into the Jewish Defense League? Why are we even talking about it? Well, number one, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know exactly how you feel. I guess probably feel like some other. You can't trust government,
Right.
any government, and I think I'm going to need a much bigger magazine for all this faith in government.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I my magazine only has a regular amount. I'm going to need a much bigger expenditure
beyond what
because,
they allow.
Well, because you can't trust them, and when you do, you open yourself up for issues all around the board. And I think that's what happens in a lot of situations. Like, number one, if there are good people in Gaza, which I mean, at this point, a lot of people who have gone there. Well, a lot of people who have gone there, they understand that the designation is an anti-Zionist designation. Okay, so that means you're going to a place. It's kind of like the Ku Klux Klan. You're going to a place where we all know you don't like the blacks.
Right. Okay? We know you're racist. We know.
And these Palestinian people keep saying, "Well, it's our land. It's not. You have to share it. And we're supposed to be the stewards." You don't read books. Apparently, they don't read anyone's books other than theirs. So,
oh no,
how does this fit into the Jewish Defense League? Because in the when Kahan was alive, Jews were being treated horribly in the Soviet Union. They were being rounded up. People were being killed. Basically, the way Russia is treating Ukrainian Jehovah's Witnesses right now. The same thing was happening to Soviet Jews. So an outcry from him personally, even he got arrested. You know, they had members who did acts of arson and tried to do things to, you know, lash out to show their anger against what they see in the world. If we only had the phones back then, Kahan would have loved being able to reach people in a sense where, hey, we could talk about this before I have to send a kid in to blow something up, you know?
Well, I mean, let's be, you know, and I mean, that's fun and everything, but there's never been an actual bombing that was official JDL actions. They're just people who were like supporters that went off and
support the idea.
Went hardcore, you know, not from the actual Jewish Defense League.
And of course, we don't support violence and political violence and doing that. And
I mean, we support self-defense violence. Yeah, obviously, that type of violence is required by Torah.
Exactly. Yeah, things. Yeah, it's got to be metered out by Torah. And if it is, hey, you know, I'm not even. It's not even a question.
Exactly.
But what we're talking about here is that the Jewish Defense League position on government is kind of how we got here, because Iran is just another example of how they work with the enemy. They give money to Palestine. They give money to Hamas. They give money to Lebanon. They give money to Russia. They give money to China. They constantly, consistently work with the enemies of this country.
They trade with, I think, more like than give money. They do full-on cooperations with Russia.
Foreign aid money is available from the U.S., and if you Google it, you'll be shocked how much of it goes to Russia and other places.
Yeah, believe it, we have so-called sanctions, but we still do actually give them money every year.
Well, how about after October 7th? Did they deserve $7 or $8 million? That guy that was the Secretary of State, so he was supposed to be a Jew too, and he pumped $8 million into Gaza after October 7th, after they were trying to get their hostages back and they're hunting them and stuff, and he pumped $8 million in there. Why would you do that? If it was this place
because you're insane,
Indiana.
Because you're insane. That's why you would do that.
I was hunting a bunch of people who had hostages in Hammond, and some asshole from Chicago gave those people in Hammond $8 million, of course it would be a problem.
Right.
You know, and I don't know why people are looking at the big picture going, well, you know, Israel's been coercions and all these lies and gaslights and stuff. When we lose in Israel, get ready to lose in LA and New York and Houston and Louisiana and all those places. It'll fall like
gaslighting
a Roman Empire.
is their way. That's all they can really do, because if they relied on normal debates like traditional politics went, then they would always lose. They would never have any support. What they do is gaslight. They try to pull heartstrings, talk about some, you know, imaginary dead kids, you know, Timu baby dolls that they're crying about, and then all of a sudden the world, you know, all the stupid Western white girls are, oh, how could you not care about the Gaza babies? And it's like, well, you know, why are they there? Who puts their baby there?
You're talking about
who's putting their baby in a war zone and then saying, oh, you know, I'm the victim?
Didn't they say it's about 100 or 120 miles?
I mean, when you've been warned and everything.
Right?
I don't remember the exact numbers right now.
Across, right?
It's not very large.
It's about 100 miles. That's what I'm pretty sure it was about 100 miles. And I think the problem a lot of people face dealing with the problem and dealing with Jews when they talk about this issue is that they don't know nothing about the place that they're talking about. They don't know anything about the geography. They don't know anything about the land. I mean, in high school,
most importantly, they don't understand the culture.
I don't remember being taught anything about Israel in high school, or the Holocaust, or World War II. I didn't have that kind of history. They
give you the very basic thing. They show you a few pictures of like starving guys from the Holocaust, and they said that, and it's just in the general World War II section. That was it. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's
and
not
it
enough.
Wasn't.
It's not enough to tell people, hey, look, for perspective, there's 55 nations surrounding a place the size of New Jersey. And I don't know how many times you tell some people that and they go, well, maybe they should give up and stop being Jews. And you think, man, see how racist you are? Because there's black ones and there's Asian ones and there's Alaskan ones and there's you know, everybody race under the sun because you guys joined the Jewish religious ethnicity group. You know?
Yeah, basically they're saying because they like the Palestine movement that all the Jews should just go die.
Now, before we ramble, I was segueing this because the beginning comment about Iran and everything is that it's important for Jews all over the world to understand that you cannot trust your government, you cannot trust your local government,
right?
You can't trust your state government. That's exactly how Holocaust happened. You need to worry about yourself, you need to worry about your community, and you need to worry about arming yourself, especially in these times.
Yes, sir.
There's really no reason for any of us to be unarmed. And if you are unarmed, that makes you a victim. So you need to take my advice. And if you don't want to arm yourself, make the boy do it. Find someone in the group that will. If you're old and you're thinking, why are we doing this? You'll see.
Yeah, whatever you're allowed legally in your jurisdiction, your area, legally. Get it.
Yes.
Get it. Get because the top
because the government,
the power that you
the government can only offer you the safety of the mass grave. All right. Period. That's the only safety they can give you. I think it was it Roosevelt who once famously said, if the American people want more security, they should go live in prison.
Yeah, they should go live in prison because
this is America. It's a land of the free, a land of the Wild West. This is not the type of place where, you know, you're going to get it free. You got to fight for it.
Right. Yeah. You're not supposed to just expect that, oh, well, you know, there's gun laws where I live and people won't come in and shoot us or something. I was just trying
to hammer that home because we brought up the topic. And we could talk forever about government and the failures of government and this, that. But as long as you're just aware that, they work with your enemy. They give your enemy money. They're not on your side.
They're working with everybody.
Yeah. And they're going to play every side because they're the biggest minority in the world that they want to keep power. So that's what you're dealing
government
with.
Government is,
they gaslight and tell everybody it's the Jews. And they're the weird little minority everybody hates.
Yeah, it's the government. Exactly. The government is the minority that's causing the problem.
I think that's enough on government and that. But number two, since I'm on your show, I wanted to bring up Henry Nowak.
I'm sorry, what?
Henry Nowak.
Oh, yes.
The guy who got stabbed in the UK.
Whew.
And then just yesterday, I watched a pretty unlikable video of young Bob taking fists in a city center where he had previously been there before, and someone threw curry on him. And you'd think that would have been enough for him to say, "Hey, I need to bring a couple people with him." But I guess he's trying to demonstrate, make the point that he should be able to go out and talk and say what he wants to say. But we watched him get pummeled, and he got pummeled to the point of tears, which is always a bad thing for a man or a young boy because, you know, crying means that you really got hurt. And, he really got hurt, and we're just seeing that the enemy in England. Yeah, it was truly a terrible sight, especially, and then you see like the weak ones out of the Antifa group come and like kick him while he's down. We could spend time talking about how we feel about what happened, but I want to just say, please don't fall into the white power trap. Don't fall into the racism trap where every brown-skinned person is the enemy because one of them stabbed someone or one of them did someone wrong. The English people you guys have withstood so much. I mean, Lee Rigby, anyone? I mean, that was a horrific thing. And for that not to be a national holiday in England where the king comes out and he cries and remembers, then you guys have lost your empire. The sun is set. You have to learn to take care of yourselves, like like pirates and Mad Max, and don't fall into the trap of racism because racism will make you all lose. That's how they get you. That's literally how they try and rile up the racial tensions, and this is what the left thrive on. Specifically have texts about doing this. Read The National Question by Vladimir Lenin. Okay. Yeah. They will agitate racial or ethnic or religious tensions between different groups in countries that they want to destroy. And that instability causes room for communists, extremists, Islamists of various stripes to move in, offer a strongman alternative, and take control. Yeah, because in America, we have freedom of speech, and people all have crazy ideas here, and there's different people walking around. And, in certain neighborhoods, if you're a Sikh, you better be careful. We have constitutional carry in some of our states. And some of our states are bigger than the whole of England. I mean, right. They're not like it's hard for us to get a bearing of what people are going through there. But what you are seeing is a systematic cucking of the English patriot. Let me explain something. What he was saying. If you're a Sikh, and people are like, "Well, I thought Sikhs were cool." Oh, they carry a curved knife. So, I remember what it's called. So the thing about the Sikhs is that in England, people are not allowed to carry or brandish weapons, generally speaking. But there's special religious exemptions for minority groups, and Sikhs are allowed to carry these ritual knives, and that's what Henry Nowak was killed with. So, and then it happened again where another Sikh stabbed somebody with one of these knives, sliced somebody up. Well, so it's not just Nowak, it's the fact that there's a two-tier policing as well. Right. So why are these guys allowed to carry a knife again? I mean, because of some weird law. Okay, well that's not fair. Right. Of course it's not, but it's Britain. Unfair law. I know. So I like how they say the monarchy is infallible, but the people aren't. I like that. I like that idea. And I hope if the monarchy stood for what was right, it was true. But what we're seeing is a downturn away from them being sensible toward how they treat their patriots. Suddenly a guy who wants to be silly and drink beer and wrap himself in the Union Jack, he's some kind of Nazi. It's like, insane. He's a regular and then when he's mad because, hey, he hears a story where, guy got another white guy, he just gets brutalized on the street. And he complains, and so now you're going to do public order offenses on words he's saying and follow YouTubers around. When you label people that way, bad responses over there. It's the worst thing. When you label people who are not racist as racist,
okay, and you lump them in with racist, all of a sudden, they don't have any friends except for racists.
Yeah.
You create the problem that you claim to be against. Now you've just made a network of racists
Yeah.
because nobody else will talk to somebody who is identified as a racist besides other racists. So now you've just made a network of racists.
And if the person's not smart enough, the network it gets cancerous where it grows, and then next thing you know, you got everyone going, yeah, we're out here supporting the EDO, and no, you're not. You're out here being racist. You're ruining the patriot movement. So the point is that England is going to go through a lot, but it's not America.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. We don't have something where only one group can carry a knife or some shit like that.
Just like how the media always tries to scare you and be like, oh, the crime and the suffering, and the punishment. And it's like, here in Chicago, all the shooting happens at night. Okay, there's not people running around
generally speaking,
blowing each other away. It's not like the Wild West here, and it's not as
for the most
random
part.
as
there are occasions.
Think,
there are occasions, but the problem is that
it's hard for us to tell what's going on because we look at our media and we go, our media is lying to the world about what's happening, and then we look at England and we go. Right. We're seeing the story from, like Charlie Veach.
Right.
Getting the story from him about what goes on because he's been a, consistent, middle ground guy. He's not out there going, well, we got to save the white race. He's not Jake Lang.
So in the United States, it's like we have lost a lot with a lot of unconstitutional laws and whatnot, but we still have our basic rights, even if you have to do bullshit like get quote unquote qualified to carry certain types of weapons, meaning CCLs or whatever your state.
Yeah.
Right. It's even though those things are unconstitutional, FOIDs and CCLs and things like that.
100.
There are places still like Indiana that have complete constitutional carry. You can walk down the street carrying a shotgun if you want to.
Yeah, as long as you're brandishing it within the limits.
Right. Well, you're not supposed to brandish it in the sense of threatening somebody.
I think like in North Carolina or South Carolina, one of those places that also has constitutional. They have deals where you can't have certain suppressors and certain stocks and stuff out on the street. They tried to make laws against that. They can't make laws that say these guys can't have their guns. So they tried to make laws saying certain suppressors, kind of like how in Illinois the governor thinks, well, we'll make laws against large magazines with large capacity magazines. People could just put a new one in there.
Right. So like now you just have to buy 10 magazines of 5 instead of one that has 50.
Is you make it constitutional carry in Illinois.
That would really...
Everybody who wants to shoot at people will get shot.
Again.
Because other people who carry guns for a constitutional reason, it's because of the government and for people who want to kill you. It's not for any other reason.
Yeah, it's not it's
literally for the government.
It's not to go and rob the stores.
You can't have assault weapons. Why, government? What are you doing? Why can't we have assault weapons? Don't you have nuclear biolabs? You're telling us we can't have assault weapons? Moron.
Is it just me or is it robbing somebody? Robbing somebody and killing somebody are already illegal.
Their government, but their government has a king, and you think the king would be a decent man, and he would step up to the plate and go, okay, enough's enough. The next killing in my country by a migrant, you all got to go.
It's because they have a false monarchy.
No, because he said they're guests, man. He sits there thinking they're guests.
Yeah, but they have a false monarchy anyway. They're not, it's not a biblical monarchy, and it's not even the original. It's not even the original English monarchy, but they're especially not. He's not King David,
The MI6 is going to arrest you with James Bond
because it disrespected the king, sausage finger king.
You told the sausage finger king.
They're halal sausages.
Well, our government, we got people out here going, oh, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald. And then he doesn't do anything worthy of that song. He just does the bare equivalent.
He every once in a while he'll throw a bone to the right wing thing, but yeah, he basically just sits there.
Where's my apology for COVID? And for the family members that died. What about that?
And all the
the government is fucked up. That's what both topics so far have led us into a circle. Again, that's the JDL's position. We don't like the government. You work with the government, that's fine. We're not anti-government where we're like wanting to blow up the government or stop the government.
Yeah, but
please stay out of our business. It's not. We don't want nothing to do with that.
So Rabbi Kahana politically was libertarian.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you want to talk about, what political stream, yeah,
but in the case of
the Torah says, you shouldn't be compelled to charity, that you're supposed to give because you're trying to be good.
England's the size of Indiana.
Is it roughly?
I think it's roughly the size of Indiana. When you think about
and
Indiana has a lot of grass.
Indiana's getting a lot of Muslims now too.
Well, everywhere's getting a lot of Muslims. Eventually, they'll take over because there's more of them than everybody else.
Because other people are not breeding.
Well, exactly, and they're being gay.
They're turning transgender and sterilizing themselves while
and they're fighting with the people who have babies.
Right, and
it's like a weird book.
The funny thing is too that all that dysgenic behavior is primarily white people. So it'll seem like they're basically canceling themselves out, but then these like non-white people that are much more right-wing and family values based than most white people will be filling that void, with like black conservatives,
imagine if we
Orthodox
lived in a world
Jews.
Where money didn't control politics, and we had a chance. Instead, we're going down a horrible avalanche snowball of a type of thing because the politics have been corrupt and they're corrupted, and so there's no hope in the political sphere. And people who think there are holding on to a delusion. And I'm not trying to be mean. I love it when people, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool you want to vote for Darren Bailey, but it's almost like just going to the state fair. You're just buying a ticket at the state fair.
At a certain point,
ticket at
at a certain point, you have to realize that
the government wins no matter who you vote for.
The problems don't always have a government solution. There are political solutions, but they're street politics.
True, and
they're cultural changes.
If you're truly right wing, you want less government as possible. I don't want to see government at all. I don't want to hear them talking to me. I don't want their advice.
Just keep
I don't
the
want
streets
TV
clean, and that's about
that
it.
I paid for that tell me things. I don't want pamphlets that I paid for in my taxes that tell me. I want some sort of and not just me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel this way. They want some sort of an office that would say, okay, enough's enough. And if it's not going to be enough's enough, we're going to start building guillotines. Because these parties are retardies. They're not helping anybody. I mean, look at the Republican Party in Illinois. They're about to give the election back to Pritzker. Everyone's going to say, "Oh, but Darren Bailey's got a chance." Yeah, chance of fucking snowball.
Yeah, I don't know how he won the primary. I really don't know how he won the primary.
These stupid Christians and Pritzker's fake votes. I don't fucking believe it. I'm sorry.
I think,
pardon my French. I do not believe it. Some Christians voting for him because they think, "Oh, he's a good."
He was a pastor, and it's like, yeah, but that doesn't make him the best.
Once on Twitter, and that was when Obama was president. Once.
So there's been no concern since then.
No concern since then at all. Like since people moving here,
nothing's going on.
Over of Illinois, search that
because he wants the Muslims to vote for him.
Yeah, he wants the right wing vote no matter who.
He thinks because they really only have the one issue that we overlap on, which is
I'll eat my hot dogs, but
the gay
I don't
stuff.
believe it.
That's the only issue that we would overlap with the Muslims on, is the not having the LGBT stuff in the schools.
Well,
and
that's
stuff.
a whole other topic. You want to start that topic? We were talking about that before. The bottom line is that these are people who are, part of a religion that says pedophilia is acceptable. And they don't believe that that's a thing, and we do. And so as long as the West and the police force has allowed this to become a thing in America, this is where we are. Everyone's going to have to accept it. This is worse than having, gay people at the library. You underneath gay people at the library, you let Islam step in.
Yeah,
and Islam
which is going to slaughter all the gay people at the library.
It's an Eastern culture. It's an Eastern philosophy and a religion. As far as whether or not it's a religion, it might be a cult. It's got the most people adhering to it, and just because of whatever, people do mass murders in its name. People are running. You have Indians who have converted. Who Indians are supposed to be Indians. They're supposed to be Sikhs, right?
And Hindus
and Sikhs. Instead, they're Muslims, and so they're literally
now
beating other people up. I heard a guy at a office party offended Muslim or Muhammad somehow, and they literally tore him apart, with their bare hands at an office party, and it's like disgusting. That kind of stuff is not. I'm not making up these stories. These are people who are rabidly devoted to Islam and the version of Islam. Because
they don't have any other, like I was talking about previously, they don't have any other moral compass than what Muhammad says. So if it says, look, Sharia says this,
a lack of imams.
Then it's good.
Name a famous imam. Ready? Go ahead. Oh, yeah, you don't know one. Name a famous preacher. Ready? See.
I mean, that was
the only one you could name was the
basically the like apostate almost.
Yeah, I don't.
He's not really considered an imam by a lot
of people. What I need is that name preacher.
Jerry Falwell. Jimmy Swaggart. Another preacher. Benny Hinn.
Right. Okay. Now name a Catholic.
Joel Osteen. I could name Fulton Sheen. Unfortunately, I could name Father Coughlin, but he's a bad guy.
Pizza baller.
Yeah.
Okay, so my point is that Islam still is a young religion. It still has young imams. There's not a 67 or 80-year-old imam who goes, the problem is with the kids nowadays is they think Palestine is in the Quran.
They don't have an older guy telling them.
It's cursing us, and it's bloating our numbers.
The few older guys they have are just going, yeah.
So what I'm saying is until I hear a Muslim imam come forward who says, hey, some of this shit's no good, and it needs to be fixed, it needs to be reformed, well, then they're not being mature. They're not being serious.
It absolutely is a cult.
It needs to be reformed. Every other religion throughout history had to be reformed. The Christians had to be reformed. Why? Because they ran around killing people. And they had inquisitions, for thanks sake.
Yeah, I mean.
So you had to be reformed. Jews, we've been reformed. Look at us. Look at us. Look at how
the
reformed we've been. You got people who
so far from
they call the original Torah extreme, while they're completely away from the Torah. So we've been reformed people, and so Islam's going to have to go through it. Right now, it's just.
But even
Islam.
Orthodox Jews are reformed compared to what?
Reformed temple. Is that a thing? What is Islam? No, it's just everything's Orthodox Islam.
No, there's only one Islam. There's just different streams of it. Like if they're like Shias or Sunnis,
it can't truly integrate to the West. It will just
they will never integrate to the West because, again, either they're going to go against Islam or they're going to go for it.
That's going to be the main end question.
But that's what I'm talking about. There's two ways. Okay, they're either going to go against Islam or they're going to go for it. There's no way to make Islam fit into the Western world. Okay, so they're going to go for it means they're going to go against the West, and they're going to go against it. That means that they're going to go against their own belief system and their own people for the West, which means they're going to become basically fugitives and never be able to go back to their home countries.
It's here, like they say, it's here, and people are. It's not going away.
We were talking about
people that don't have a good view of it. Like like CARE and all these groups and these clandestine groups. You know, if the federal government finds something wrong in those situations, they're going to swoop in on them. They're watching them.
Yeah,
like
the FBI
but
is
when it
on
comes
CARE.
down to this story, that number one,
Hopefully they'll be dismantled
why
soon.
isn't anyone talking about 6-year-old bride? Why is
Because
this not a thing? How
because
come
they
I can't talk about it or you'll kill me?
yeah, they act like it's
You know,
that's
what
not
about
really a
Job?
thing.
Like Job in the Bible. Okay, he wasn't a great guy. He was drunk. He, you know, took his pants off from his family and stuff. So God taught us through him that he was a horrible guy. What about Jonah, who was told to do something by God and didn't, and was punished?
And then you see the punishment.
We can't tell the context.
Right.
Muhammad,
But the
all
thing
we can
is,
tell is what we're reading, and they're telling us don't take it literally because they say.
But then they do take it literally.
Again, it's a PR problem. It's a skill issue.
Because if Muhammad is considered the perfect person in Islam, so
is that all sects? Do all sects believe that?
Yeah.
That
I mean, otherwise it's not Islam. It's some sort of syncretic thing like Baha'i or something.
You know, the toothpaste Muslims, they don't say that, and so they're okay. when realistically, every single says that a man who was a warlord and a killer and a you know, married a child,
a 6-year-old.
Okay, and we're not insulting him by calling him a warlord and a pedophile.
These are descriptors. These are the words that mean what they mean.
Anyone is going to tell you the truth. I mean, Abraham Lincoln was a tyrant and a dictator. That's how I feel about Lincoln. Same thing about Muhammad. From what I'm reading, I don't see this saving grace to this prophet that is worth all this death. If you want to believe it in America and be on your own, that's fine. But death is following them, and you know that's the problem.
Because why even if they don't go to the level of blowing up people terrorism style, death always follows evil. Okay, yeah. And their other things are all evil too. Yeah. That's the problem. Because taking a 6-year-old bride, maybe you're not going to blow up a place, but you still think it's okay to have a 6-year-old bride.
You still think
you're perfect. Evil. People are going to die around you. Something that's going to draw bad negativity. There's nothing positive. God will not smile upon you for this type of behavior and attitude.
Sorry for the people who are peaceful and good people who believe in their heart that all these stories are bull crap. And she was actually, I had a lady try to explain it to me that she was actually, 19 or something, and they try to rationalize all these things, and they don't just say, look, it's a barbaric religion. It means submission to God, and it's from the East. If you don't understand what that means, you probably don't understand Kung Fu or any of the Asian stuff.
Never forget Al-Zut.
Well, again, we're not sitting here. We're the Jewish Defense League. Okay, we would love to be the Jewish Offense League, because then we would just go out and offend you guys.
But I mean, people probably get offended by that, but never forget Al-Zut. That's when he was riding the dark men in the desert.
Yeah, but see, the story about Al-Zut, even that is all shrouded in mystery. Everything's shrouded in mystery. Who's the leading scholar of the day that's going to step forward and say, okay, this is the story? Hey, Islam does not support pedophilia.
It's in Al-Bukhari.
We're a loving, open thing. It's not going to happen. It is what it is. And I'm not going to be felt like I have to, kowtow to people who already hate me and want me to die. I don't care what you think.
That's the thing.
And how this plays in the Jewish Defense League is what I'm trying to keep the motto of our topic, because how does it play into the Defense League is that we're not a Muslim offensive league where we're out here trying to offend Muslims. We're trying to defend ourselves from Arabic Muslims who tell us that we have no right to exist even here in America because of Israel. So somehow somebody over there, well, I don't know, I have no connection to, it's my fault here. And they've started this argument since October 7th. And,
they believe that
they think it's going to end with, the argument,
government,
they win or something. No.
See,
it's going to keep arguing forever.
The thing is, the Jews are not as united as the Muslims. No, so when they say, the Muslims,
a smaller minority than them.
Right. of course. But they want to portray it like this, like basically you have offended them as a whole, as all Muslims, because they're unified and they defend any other Muslim unless they left Islam, right? We don't defend any other Jew. Jews bicker a lot. I mean, two Jews, three opinions. Jews do not have the level. Everybody, they try to say, "Oh, the Jews, they stick together." We really don't. Not like we should.
And
we can take a lesson from them.
We're not reactionary. We're sitting here waiting quietly, telling our people to arm themselves, building armories, and studying the Bible, and that's what we're doing to defend ourselves. We're not. This isn't the Jewish Defense League of the past. Unfortunately, our leader was killed. We're not going to let that happen again to any of us. It's not ever going to happen again. And God just happened to say, "Hey, I think I'm going to send some skinheads to run the Jewish Defense League," and we practice the same ethics there as we do in the skinhead world. And people there know us, that the buck stops here. We're going to tell you the truth, and we might even fight with you over it. If they want peace, they need to prepare for peace, or that's it. Because they're not prepared for peace by telling us that the land belongs to them and fighting with the people here. I mean, since October 7th, I personally have had more people on us talking and being confrontational and aggressive than we ever had before. And I'm thinking, don't you guys think, hey, maybe we should leave the people alone that live in America because they don't live in Israel? But then they go, oh no, you're flying over there at night in your little car, and you got a laser beam that takes you there, and you're spending all the money there because all your money's in crypto, and they just everything that's conspiracy theory, people go at.
Basically,
the reason why I'm bringing it up is because, like Kahan said, we would love to close the doors of the Jewish Defense League. It's going to be a wonderful party of a day when we can close the organization. We can say,
but it's no longer needed, right?
We don't need to keep people aware that there's a threat, because we're not the Jewish, oh, the sky is falling.
We're not the,
we don't care that someone had a problem with someone else. That's not our point. Our point is organize all 50 states. We have people in them that stand together, and they know what's going on,
and they can defend themselves.
And that was the point of the Jewish Defense League in the beginning. And we've
spread the idea of it.
We've helped bring it to actual reality now more than ever before. And the bottom line still stands. Can't trust the government. Yeah.
Every day we get encouraging messages. We get more adulation than donations, but we understand that a lot of the people who are moved by the type of stuff we talk about are working class people, because we're on the street and this stuff affects us more than people who don't have to go and ride the bus with somebody that's got a keffiyeh on, or go to work with somebody that's wearing a Palestine pin.
Exactly.
We're
a minority, and they keep acting like we're not, and that we're some kind of a shadowy force that exists. And both me and her and other people we know have had a downturn in our lives since October 7th that probably won't ever go back to normal.
But I just wanted to, make clear that we do appreciate all of the words of support and spiritual backing that the people who can't afford to donate do give us. I know you see things like at the bottom, to donate and stuff like that, but don't feel like you're not doing anything.
The people who donate are paying for everybody to enjoy stuff that we try to make, like the Kitab magazine, the conceal and carry courses, the things that we try to offer for people, the picnics, the things that we've tried to do so far. These are all, courtesy of other people, because our daily life is working class, and we can't afford things past daily
regular life, right?
So yeah, we're very grateful of it, but you know, like one of our friends once, we accept it, but we don't expect it.
Exactly, accept it, but don't expect it.
We know that
But,
we're fighting
yeah.
an uphill battle.
Right.
We paid attention to the
Mhm.
rabbi.
For sure.
You
If
know.
you're one of the people who cannot donate, remember you can always help by just spreading the word, sharing the live streams, sharing the blog posts. Also, good time to bring up the printables repository. If you go on the website at thejdl.us and click the printables repository
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of books in there too, right?
Oh, no, that's in the
okay.
library.
The library as well.
Yeah, there is a library as well under free
Unless you're
resources, but
Laura Loomer.
I'm talking about the printables repository
Yes.
on GitHub.
Cool.
So you can go there and get pamphlets,
Flyers to download,
flyers,
stickers,
designs, all that kind of stuff.
And the
That is
Telegram has
printable.
the library.
Right, and the Telegram library has a lot of readables, yeah, informational,
If you don't
educational.
know what you're talking about or what we're talking about, go read the books.
Mhm.
Read the books.
Right.
Don't
And
learn from somebody
that'll
else.
be linked from the front of the website at the jdl.us under free resources and information. So go there to go to the library. And if you want to print out stuff to help promote JDL, go to the printables repository, which will be constantly updating with more and more designs and things as we get them uploaded. Yes. Oh, and also don't forget the Jewish safety app, the Tuach. Basically, that's a send a pin to your friends or to whoever you need to. If you are in a location and you don't know where you're at, like you don't know the name of the street, whatever, you can send that pin right away to who you need to using that, and that's at app.thejdl.us. So, but the app will not save you from
The app makes incident
violence.
reports to
Right.
us.
All right. So
So
what
that
you
we
need to
can
do, you do need to
decide.
arm yourself and be
Yes.
prepared.
Yes.
You know, the app is just to let people know where you're at if something happens.
As charismatic as we both are, we do not have the money to rappel into your living room from our helicopter and help you fight your local anti-Semitism.
Right.
Which is what I think a lot of the chat Fed boys want you to do.
Yeah, they think that you're just going to roll up and...
We are not the A team. This is the JDL. Yeah. And this is a morphed JDL because of the loss of our great leader. Mm-hmm. So...
yeah, so we want
talk
to...
about him in comparison to England.
Yeah, we want you to... Well, hold on, let's keep... Before we change... we want you... The idea of the Jewish Defense League in the modern world is that we want Jews to be able to defend yourselves. It's not you call us and we beat up people for you. Yeah. We organize to train, teach, and inspire Jewish defense, Jewish self-defense.
What we don't do is we don't train you or teach you to go out and argue with people in the streets at protests.
No, if they approach you at a protest, you tell them to back away. And if they get too close or touch you, then you toss them.
Well, you know, they should just follow your videos for the protest model. She does a great job of that. We don't even need to all go out. She does. So
yeah,
just follow along, do what she does if you must go to a protest. But the facts of the matter is the Defense League exists because of the attacks. If the attacks ceased, there would be no Defense League.
Yeah, you wouldn't need it if Jews were not having an issue, but we are. So that's why we're here. And we hope to educate and inspire you to, do it yourself. And we need to spread this idea that Number one, being Jewish is awesome. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's not something to be ashamed of at all
It's
whatsoever.
not Nazism. It ain't racism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And secondly, self-defense is your natural right from God, and it's also protected by the United States Constitution.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, like one of the first things I was going to say in this live stream, because we're just topic, we're wild west in the topics here. Watch the rabbi on YouTube.
Yes, watch Rabbi Shofar.
Rabbi Shofar is a fighter. He's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He does not take your CRAP. He's also probably one of the toughest guys his age that I've ever met or had the ability to come across, because of the ocean beats him up and he takes it. Yes. And he keeps surfing year after year after year. He's probably can pass law enforcement tests, no problem. The point is that he's a good guy. He's a rabbi, and he's telling you things that you should listen to.
The truth.
He knew Kahan. He understood the message
and
from
studied under him and was
listening
good friends
to Kahan, not from learning about it from the internet.
And with his son Benjamin.
He also helped drive him, so I can see that must have been a fun time.
Yeah, driving with the rabbi.
Shifrin couldn't drink, so so Kahan must have drank and thought you're off. Anyway, the point is that the first thing you can do is go make yourself familiar with the rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in Los Angeles, go look for the rabbi. Go speak to the rabbi. Go make an audience with him. Take time. If you're in California, you're interested in the JDL, you're interested in anything that goes on JDL related, go talk to the rabbi.
Mm-hmm. And
remember, if you didn't talk to the rabbi first, we're going to ask you.
If you do,
rabbi?
if you do wish to contact him, there's a new email. It's the JDL plus rabbi-Shifrin at substack.com.
Okay.
Again, that's the JDL plus rabbi-Shifrin.
When we upload
at
this to
substack.com.
Later, we'll put the link to the bio. If there's such a thing, or maybe you can put it on the screen. But, people can write in. Please reach out. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, and remember that our group is fueled by the 5 principles and our respect for the rabbi and our respect for his parsha. So get involved, watch them, comment, show us your Jewish dexterity. Don't come to me talking about Jewish stuff if you have never even commented on any of his videos. Don't waste my time. Don't waste our time. You're not in the right story. This isn't Wally World where you can bring plastic balls. You need to go read the Torah, and you need to read his stuff, especially. Try that. And following him on YouTube, which is on our channel there, is a good way to keep in touch and find out what parsha you were at anyway.
Again,
do you know what parsha means?
The YouTube, the YouTube, yes, the YouTube is Jewish Defense League official.
Yes.
I've just put the rabbi's email address if you wish to contact him. That is in the chat and on the screen currently. The JDL.
Yes,
Rabbi
we're just lucky to be representatives of him, and we've known him for quite some time, and he's well known around the world. He's speaking to England. He spoke for the EDL back when the EDL was a thing before.
That's the English Defense League.
Before the English Defense League. The bottom line is the JDL is what it is. It's the Jewish Defense League. So if you don't know anything about the Bible, you're of no use to us. So you got coming around us.
Learn your basics. You know, you don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to be a rabbi, but you got to know your basics.
Yeah.
You
got to know the basics enough to know that just irritating the people who do the JDL is, it can, you're playing with fire.
Probably a bad idea.
And we don't wish that on anybody, and we don't wish hard times on anybody, but what we wish you to do is to pay attention to the rabbi. And imagine that this is a giant course, and Shlomo and the Ma will slap your ears if you don't pay attention.
The teacher is talking.
Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's trying to bring.
Yeah.
So
he does some very good relations of the current goings on with the Torah portion.
Super hot takes.
Yeah, and
your rabbi doesn't make these hot takes.
Right. And there are some moments probably that we maybe couldn't post on Twitch. I don't know about kidnappings and and meetings.
He's the figurehead. But, he's got the microphone.
On YouTube, it's sliding, so let it be.
Yeah, he's got the microphone, and we don't endorse violence or anything. He's allowed his freedom of speech. And,
well, again, violence and self-defense is always allowed.
Yeah.
But we don't endorse random or unprovoked violence because that would.
So we have a few things in the works. Should we talk about that stuff that's coming up?
Well, we are trying to open an office in New York City. Is that what you're talking about?
That's the first thing I was talking about. We're going to be bothering your fair city. New York City needs representation, and we've had some people come to us.
It needs a real JDL there.
If they could help run and manage an office in New York City, and of course, we were into helping them because anything to be a thorn in the communist mayor's side.
Yeah. Well, you start off with a small amount of people, and then you get that base, and it can blossom.
Well, it's also mainly for establishing a base that people can feel that they can report to, they can come to if they have a big problem, and if the literal SHIT hits the fan, it will be an imperative hub to be able to network out of.
Right.
Keep information flowing and positive things going in case something bad happens.
Right.
The New York office will be able to give us updates.
But again, once the office is open, calling the office doesn't mean a helicopter is going to show up and.
Well, we're not the A team. That's if you're thinking that you keep.
Just to clarify.
I'm pretty sure there's some loose gun retard out there. You can join his group because that's not us. We're not that thing. We're this is not. We don't work that way, and we're also not the ADL, which is just telling people they do work. So the bottom line
what does the ADL do? Just make lists?
That's a whole nother.
They just basically make lists, right? I don't know.
See from the silence that we're like, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we should talk about.
Let's not
at all because they're not an opposing organization. These people are in bed with the government.
They're
Government
just
is corrupt.
Therefore,
they
will never accomplish anything.
Make it echo so I can say, you are corrupt, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes. The sum up of what we were saying is that how you can't trust the government.
Nope. You can't trust anyone but your fellow Jew of the Jewish idea, and even among those, about 50%.
So the other thing
you can trust only fully the Lord.
Is we're working on a Jewish Defense League art exhibit. Now we're not sure which city we will grace this art exhibit with, but it will be an art exhibit that explores the life of Kahan, maybe some beautiful art dedicated to him and some pictures of him and, random things people might not have ever seen or things that just whatever suits our fancy to help promote him at the time. And we'll be able to pass out pamphlets at this event and, some food and a little bit of stuff like that would go on as well. So if you are interested in hosting this in your city,
Let us
let us know
know.
because we're going to try to make this go on the road. And once the first one in Chicago or New York is done, you'll have a better idea of what we're talking about doing. But this will unfold. So
Yes, sir.
please get in touch if you're interested in helping us with that. If you know a gallery that's friendly to these concepts and wouldn't turn us away because of these concepts, please be in touch as well.
Yes.
So that's one thing. And number two, there's a special graphic novel coming. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to say there's a graphic novel coming that hopefully will
Don't give too much
make everybody happy.
information away.
That, like I said, besides for that, we've reopened membership.
Yeah. And the price has gone down. But again, for the application because we found a cheaper.
This time, membership has different things we're asking.
The vetting is more
extensive.
Let's just put it that
and
way.
I'm taking care of it myself mainly. So give her a chance to do what she's doing with the administrative side of the project. I'm going to be very strict about whether or not you have a rabbi. From now on, we're not. If you're a Jew, you don't have a rabbi. We're just we're not interested. The only way you can get involved with helping us would be
if you need to make
Christian.
Rabbi Shofar your rabbi.
Then that's a different story. You're more than welcome to try to do something like that. And our supporters group, which is growing bigger and bigger, and includes Jews and Muslims and Christians and rebels and atheists and Satanists and nerds,
supporters and subscribers.
It doesn't have a name yet, and it's growing bigger and bigger. So we're just calling it JDL supporters right now. And a shout out to them who listen. And I know in that group is some Christians and some Messianics probably who, all ethics aside, we can argue after Armageddon. About what
you support what we're doing.
If you support what we're doing to support.
Good support.
Putting some pride to the Jewish Defense League, some pride to the ideas associated with Torah and study of Torah and traditional study of Torah. Mm-hmm. If you support that, then you're on our side. And if you're with us, that's fine because we're going ahead anyway.
Yeah, if you're not, oh well.
Exactly. But again, thank you to those people out there who have been supportive this whole time who aren't necessarily Jewish. And, Hashem sees you.
So. Now, we're going to start wrapping this up soon. It's a little bit over an hour.
Oh, wow.
But I want to say...
buy the vinyl compilation.
Yeah, buy the Shir Yisrael Chai. It's good.
It's not for profit that we're doing it.
It's really good.
A beautiful compilation with a lot of good
Jewish
music on it. I think it puts music compilations to a new light now that there's an officially Jewish one out there.
Now,
so, on vinyl.
Last thing I want to talk about so we can wrap up is, and music compilation is a good way to segue into it. Whatever you're into, whatever scene, whatever subculture, whatever, be Jewish in it. Be as Jewish as you can. If you're a skateboarder, people need to know that you're a Jewish skateboarder. Put them a game to read on your board. Don't go into the world and hide it. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Out from Zion comes the Torah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember, he's with you, and he's more powerful than any other entity.
Yeah, and be a strong and proud Jew because you'll influence other Jewish kids and younger people to be like, hey, that person's cool, and they're proud to be Jewish, So keep doing that. Do it more than you've ever done it in your life because our existence depends upon it. All right? Stay Jewish, and we will talk to you later.
Shalom, Kellows.
Good night.
And this, every year we say, never again. I'm waiting for the day when we stop saying never again.
Say the people of Palestine, the people Israel, yes, on Israel high. Shonda, 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 yes, Shonda, fuck Palestine. This is a hate march. Fuck this hate march. We want freedom. We want peace. You want terrorism. You want suffering. You want death. You want rape. You like what? What do you want me to do?